Welcome back for another episode of Business Resilience in the new normal. It's been fantastic so far, and I'm so excited for what's about to come. And obviously, this is a session with myself and my clients. If you don't know me, my name is Flavela Pangang. I'm a brand strategist and the founder of Free Colors Go, a branding and marketing agency. You know me as well as a podcast host, a speaker, a mentor, I do a lot of things. But again, as I say, it's not about me today. I have with me Chidozi Hez, who is a digital transformation expert and also the founder of Chakape. Chidozi, thank you for being here. How are you doing?
I am okay. Thank you, Flavila. Thanks. It's great chatting.
Yes,
Looking forward to this.
absolutely. Can you tell us, obviously, I know you, but people don't know you. Can you present yourself in a few minutes?
Right. My name is Chidozi Hez. I'm a digital transformation expert. I've worked for almost 20 years now in financial services, helping to build systems and also drawing up strategy and helping to implement the latest technology to help to solve today's business problems. So that's basically what I do. And I've recently founded Chakapay, and the whole work we're doing is to offer what we call leadership as a service, and help organizations, with the boldness that they need to take action in digital transformation and do it the right way.
Yes. Do you know, it's funny because obviously a lot of people have seen COVID-19. I mean, a lot of COVID-19 has been very difficult for a lot of people, most of us, obviously. But I think, do you think it has helped really fast forward the digital transformation?
Yeah, absolutely. That has happened. If you remember, when the shutdown happened, it was within 2 days.
Yeah.
Organizations had to switch from working in the offices to going back to work remotely. But this is what we've been writing about and trying to push organizations, especially in financial services, to go into and make that happen. Let's use technology that's available and not just walk blindly and do things as normal when we have solution to this thing. But within 2 days, organizations were forced to do that. And that has really accelerated transformation in that space. Unfortunately, most organizations struggle. But that's a good lesson for us to learn.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, it doesn't just end there. There are
Yes.
other areas we have ready to go technology that's been tested and trusted, but we are still pushing in human beings to do those jobs and making it hard for organizations to really be resilient in situations like this.
I think it takes a lot of time for people to adapt to changes unless they are being forced or in a situation when they can't go or they can't do otherwise. That brings me to the first question. How should companies really prepare themselves during and after the lockdown? We know how important digital transformation is, but I think it's more than just a Zoom call. It's more than just having a WhatsApp. And what are we looking at furthermore than just that?
All right. In most cases, what I believe is the first thing for every organization to do is to ensure that they look at their leadership in their organization. Because if you don't have a leadership that's worth to be followed, that's worthy to be followed, then it's really hard to have people working for you remotely and getting things done.
Yeah.
What I suggest is that organizations begin to sell visions rather than outcomes and what they want to achieve as an organization. But talk about vision, because that's what people follow, and push people in the direction of the vision. And what happens with that is whatever the situation, especially as we have found ourselves in this situation which nobody planned or prepared for. And it's not going to be the last time that we're going to have to adapt. And it doesn't have to be on a global scale, but in organizations, there could be some things that go wrong. If the leadership is wrong and the employees do not have the vision, do not understand the vision of the leadership, then it's really hard for them to follow. And when you come to things about transformation, you mentioned earlier that change is really hard. Most organizations are struggling with change because it is difficult to explain this thing to people and bring people on board. But when there's a shared vision, when there's a good leadership, which is backed with real good communication and ensuring that the employees have a good understanding of the vision, it's very easy, because then you're going to refer them, instead of referring them to yourself as a leader or to your organization as and a profit-making organization, we're going to refer to that vision. That's the reason why they first joined the organization.
Yes. So do you think that this leadership, obviously leadership and digital transformation is important? So obviously the leaders will drive change, but how does it represent in terms of, or how do you see digital transformation changing or helping companies better, deal with the lockdown situation? Is there anything else that you want to add more to do with the actual technology?
Yeah, where we are right now, we have middle level managers in so many organizations who have a very good understanding of digital transformation. How do we do things in a better way? How do we automate systems? How do we redesign processes to make them more efficient? How do we use machines to do work that can be done by machines, and leave human beings to do what they need to do? There are middle managers who are in many organizations who are doing this, who are thinking and planning and pushing for this to happen. But in those organizations, you have leaders who have a different way of thinking, a different view of how things should happen. But hopefully this change that has happened will bring to fore what the vulnerabilities are for every organization that does not listen to those people who are in the front line, who are pushing for things to be done differently, who are looking for those budgets for money to be put into those areas that's going to introduce a lot of efficiencies, make things happen, and even encourage employees to follow on with the transformation that's happening. Because if you are at that level that you don't make big decisions and you're leading digital transformation, what happens? You don't get your budget signed up. What then happens to the project? It doesn't get done, and because it's not aligned with the vision of the leadership of the organization. So it's crucial that organizations now take a step back, make sure that that communication is going up and down and up of the chain in the organization, to ensure that whatever ideas or whatever opportunities that are out there that can be brought into the organization to make to optimize processes, to optimize business activities, that those things are brought in place, and at least have that boldness to try them out and see if we can achieve or they can achieve some efficiencies by doing that, instead of
that is
not
so
giving them
interesting.
any hope.
That is so interesting what you're saying, Chidozi, because I've never looked, and despite that we've worked together, but I like how you look at digital transformation from people first, which actually makes sense. Without leaders and a vision and some clarity, and being forced again to be in an uncomfortable situation, people will refuse to make changes. And I think, as we know by now, nothing says that we're not going to be hit by another peak. And therefore, your ability of your leaders to manage more effectively, but also drive changes and be the pioneers of change, will bring that digital transformation more effectively. Because as I said, sometimes people bring digital transformation, but it's not really effective or efficient in delivery. But that's something that you bring up. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, because I think you kind of answered it already. What kind of improve and maintain business continuity? But you talk about people first, and people who have been given the chance or the budget to be able to push forward better ideas. I think that's one thing that is great learning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the other thing I want to sort of highlight other opportunities that we have there. There was an interview done by O'Leary, the founder of Ryanair, and he was saying how they are struggling with customer service, getting people in a room because of social distancing restrictions out there. But I know about 5-6 solutions, customer support, automated customer support solutions, which can handle that problem of. He was talking about refunding people who have booked flights and had to cancel it because of the pandemic. Those things, the human beings should not be handling that. That's an example. Why would you fill a room of people and have all these constraints around you, when you can put that on an artificial intelligence powered system that does all the customer service? Most customers, we've seen research that say that most customers prefer self-serve. Why are organizations still filling up buildings with human beings, for example, being customer service, when they can automate this thing and produce, better customer satisfaction scores for the
Yeah.
organization, and even customer retention as well. Why are they still doing that?
Mm.
I've spoken to so many people who have been working remotely, just like I have been, during this lockdown, and they're saying they don't even understand why they had to travel in the first place.
Yeah.
These are out there. But what I keep asking myself is, having looked at this, having heard about these opportunities, what are the other opportunities that we've seen out there that are open for businesses to take advantage? I'll give you another example. An average big bank in the UK spends about £350 million doing know your customer and anti-money laundering checks.
Mm.
Now, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of
It
money.
involves human beings, it involves their whatever system that they're using. But we have, on the other hand, people like Revolut using systems to do that. And there are so many other platforms that can do that, and they're just plug and play. And you wonder, why are banks preferring to spend that money in, 350 million, filling up a building, having to struggle with the infrastructural and the facility costs, when they can plug this into a system that does that automatically? It's been tested and trusted. It's regulatory compliant. Why are they still doing? And it doesn't stop there. There are a few opportunities. And my suggestion for any organization that's facing these issues of these circumstances that we found ourselves in, look at your numbers. Look at the projects that you're running at the moment. What has been delivered because we are working remotely? What has been delayed because we are working remotely? And if nothing has been delayed, why wouldn't you switch to that remote working option? Because most of the organizations that are flying, the ones that have high turnovers, that are high growth organizations, they all work remotely. I work with them every day. They only turn up at your site if they have a meeting. Other than that, everybody has their responsibility and they turn up. And if it doesn't make sense based on the numbers, then the advice would be, why don't we just switch to that mode and start getting things done, remove the stress of traveling, and get that 100% performance from your team. It's all there out for us to use.
Yeah, very, very good point. I think it brings back to something that I said before. As for me as well, you can see my office is empty, people are still working, and we've always, even before the lockdown, I've always given my team the option to work whether they wanted to, because of that's I'm focusing on the output, not the input. That's really what companies now as well should learn a lot. And to get something, the fact that somebody is close to you doesn't give you that false reassurance that things will be done better. And I think it's a level of forced. I think this COVID-19 has forced trust on people who didn't have a chance to, or didn't get a chance to prove themselves. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's where we found ourselves. You find that, especially in the space I work in, digital transformation, you find that most people who become leaders there, organizations don't invest anything in training them on leadership. It's seen as an irrelevant training. But how do you build trust? How do you understand the components of leadership, ensuring that you have a vision that you share, that you have empathy, that you understand the power of your team, and that you're able to communicate in such a way that will enable people to do things? Because this free period has gone. You being the boss doesn't force people to do things for you. Leaders have got to have those skills beyond the technical ability to push their employees or the members of their teams to fall in line and get things done and done very well.
So that leads me back to the next question. How have you helped your clients through this?
Right. So as you can imagine, what most organizations are realizing now is that their strategies are wrong. And I don't know if you've heard that most people have binned their 2020 strategy for their businesses because it's expired. Most components of it have expired. And there is now a very, very urgent need to look at digital transformation differently in a very practical way. And this is what I'm helping some of our clients to do.
Mhm.
You know, so in the areas of building parts of their systems, what we're doing is uh, helping organizations to build different components of their system, which they can have as plug and play. Instead
Mhm.
of having to deploy and launch large project teams, we are helping them to outsource that in a safe way.
Yeah.
My team and I, we all work remotely, obviously now, and always.
Yeah.
I have people with years, 10, 15, 20, 30 years experience delivering projects, delivering code, delivering design, delivering strategy, and so on and so forth. So what I'm doing is my team and myself, we are helping these organizations look at their strategy and see if it still works. Actually,
Mhm.
take a step back and look at the vision of the organization, and then try and match that with the strategy that they have. And in most
Mhm.
cases, we are finding that there is no alignment between the vision and the strategy. And
Yes.
we're helping them make that connection, and not just making that connection. Now take them from that spot that we've now aligned the vision with the aligned the vision that they have with their strategy, but also getting into implementation and getting things done on the cheap. On the cheap doesn't mean low quality. On the cheap means we have tried and trusted
Possible.
people, and we are using the new work model
Yeah.
to deliver these as work packages to different parts of our teams, and they get that delivered into the organization
Yes.
at 50% discount in most cases, and it's
Mhm.
amazing the feedback we are getting.
That's amazing. That's really good. And I think it's, especially as you say, what you do is so relevant. This is what this talk is all about. It's about building that strong business resilience in the new normal. We don't know, we haven't seen yet, the impact of what we're living right now. We're still about to witness it. But I guess whatever we're doing during this lockdown, we really define the strong from the weak. And that's very
Yeah.
important. So I don't know, what can businesses learn post COVID-19? Anything else you want to add on that?
Well, in my view, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn. One of them is that the cycle of change can be as short as 2 days, like, like I alluded to earlier. And you hear people talk about working in an agile manner, and then people try to build all these bricks on top of each other, trying to say, oh, that's how agile works, that's how this other methodology works, and that's how waterfall, and so on and so forth. But post COVID, the world will change. The
Yeah.
world has changed. Most of the things will not come back to normal, and for organizations who are still slow in delivery, slow in digital transformation, and understanding what is working out there and what possibilities lie out there.
Mm.
And it's going to be a total change for them, because they have got to be now fast learners, but not just fast learners, because when you learn, you need to deliver. Competition is going to be steep,
Yeah.
because customers, most, especially in fintech that we work in, what we're
Mm.
finding, most people who wouldn't touch mobile banking apps are now using it because they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Most people even have an experience of using it at all in the past. And
No.
now they've used it and they're going, wow, is this real?
Really?
Can I really do this? So why would I go to a bank? Why was I going to town to do this
Wait.
business when it was always available here?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
been
not going
ages,
to
it's been ages since I actually been to a physical bank. I can't remember the last time I actually went to physical bank.
me too. Me too. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. I think banks should be set up now like takeaways. And if you want banking help, elderly, disabled, and so on and so forth, you make special arrangements for them. But I also have this other vision where I believe that banks should be workspaces instead of proper places that you go and do
Yeah.
transactions, because that brings you closer to your customers. You're able to bring people in the door, serve coffee, obviously paid, just like those, we works and so on and
Yeah.
so forth.
Absolutely.
But then give something, free internet and space to small businesses who are trying to cope.
Mm.
And that way, they will find you relevant. Else, most of that is out of the window. So that's my view.
It's interesting because I think that probably the younger generation would not necessarily change a lot after COVID-19, but I think the older, the baby boomers, the late millennials, we may also
Yeah,
have a big habit. People who have kids, as well, people who don't have kids, but I think this element of the older generation will definitely be much more open to using technologies that they were, as you say, not accustomed to. Because obviously, as you say, for me, I can't remember the last time I actually went to a bank, or the idea of queuing at the post office is something that I
yeah,
can't imagine doing anymore. I mean, it seems such a long time ago. In terms of you as a
yeah,
business, how have you been coping with the situation? What have you put in place? But we know that things have changed because, as you mentioned, like me, you have the option to work remotely. For me, my office is here, but obviously I can choose to work from home if I want to, or be in a city. Has it been quite similar to you as well? Not just in terms of area of working, but if there's anything else that's changed in the way you do things.
all right. The key thing that has changed because we've always worked remotely, so we didn't have to do much. But based on the number of people using the internet these days, we're finding unreliable services and so on here and there that's hampering what we are doing. Obviously, there are solutions out there for it. So that's one thing that we need to look at. Either find a better solution to make sure that our meeting channels are very reliable. But most importantly, there are some emotional attachments to what is going on in the world now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, it used to be you come to work, like the way we started the interview, or how is your family, how is everyone, is everything okay at home? Uh, in the past, I must say that's not what we normally do. We just assume everybody's fine as long as they're smiling.
Yeah.
Let's go to work, let's get to work and get this thing done. We're beginning to put in that dimension to running the business to
Yeah.
ensure that we're not just we are emotionally
Detached.
intelligent. Things
Yes.
that I picked from one of the speeches you've done that I saw on YouTube. It's very, very crucial. When people understand that you really care about them, then the way that they get the work done is totally different from the way that they would work if you just saw them as the guy that does this and the guy that does that.
Yes.
So these are the areas that we are looking at and trying to reshape ourselves to ensure that we are as fast as possible, maintaining the same efficiency, the same accuracy, the same level of performance while being very fast because the demands of the clients are now more urgent than it used to be. Nobody
Yeah.
has time in these days.
Good. That's really good. And
Yeah.
last question to finishing off. What did you learn working with Three Colors Rule? It's been some time now, but we've always been in
Yeah,
touch and always been supportive of the work that
yeah.
you do.
No, absolutely. I mean, one of the key things I would say I learned from the Three Colors Rule is the basics. Who are we as a business? What is our capability? Because it's very easy to be out there and you don't really know what you stand for. So working with Three Colors Rule helped me and my team understand who we are, who we are serving, and what we want to really achieve,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of colors as well in the design and how you present your business and the impact of branding on the entire business. For example, how is it possible that decisions are made by certain people even before they even start talking to you as a business? By just seeing your brand, they would say,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to deal with this business, or going through that and having a roadmap, which is very important,
Yeah.
of what we want, where we want to go, and how we are going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helped. Most of the things that I had no idea about were revealed to me. So thanks to you and the Three Colors Rule,
Yeah,
we
my
have
pleasure.
really working for us. And now, at least, we are able to, in one, two sentences, say what we stand for.
Good.
and brand ourselves and position ourselves in the market as experts in
Yes.
what we do.
Keep it.
And it's been resonating,
Yeah.
you know, based on the feedback that we're getting from people.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Anything else you want to say in terms of if you want to reach out to you, what's the best way to stay in touch with you or discuss digital transformation? I can say that.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity. If you'd like to reach out to me, my website is chidozihez.com. Hopefully, it will be in the comments or somewhere
It would be.
in this video. It's chidozihez.com, or you can reach me on hello@chidozihez.com. And I'll be more than happy to discuss what you might have going for you. We are also offering free 30 minutes strategy call. If you just want to call to understand what we do and see how we can help you to move your business from the point that it is to the point of efficiency and begin to do things more in a more agile manner and save cost, because that's going to be crucial in the era we're going into now.
Definitely. I think, Cheduzi is very modest, but I can tell you that he's very, very, very knowledgeable. Even if you're not sure, or you just have a curious about your digital transformation strategy or where you want to see your business, do you need an office? Can people work remotely? I mean, it's more than just people. It's everything to do with your productivity, your efficiency. As a business, I really recommend to reach out to Cheduzi, just to have a conversation, a 5-10 minutes conversation. At least you get a sense of the opportunities that you are missing out. As I mentioned, a lot of businesses are doing things without thinking ahead, are doing things because that's how things are being done. That's probably the best way to kill a business if you are lacking of innovation. And that's really why you're doing this talk, doing these sessions with my clients, and I know they're great at what they do, will be an amazing as well opportunity for you to find out more. So again, I'm going to just give you a call to action. It is mine. So if you'd like to get a free burn assessment, figure out the opportunities that you've been missing out, or you don't know, probably the way you're presenting or articulating yourself is not super clear, happy to have a talk to give you some clarity, or simply visit freecolorsworld.com and we'll be there to help you. Just book a call. It's very easy. If you want to stay in touch with me, I'm very easy to be found. There's only one Flavilla, and that's me. You can find me on LinkedIn, of course, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. I hope you enjoyed the session. Chidozie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Flavilla. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Great. See you soon, everybody. Bye.